the upside down L dance.
Oh, right. It's the L dance.
No, you're not doing it. You're fine because they're just L's. And there you go.
Okay.
Make sure you're right angle.
Huh?
Right. No. With your wrist.
Oh, with the I see. See, I went into my 9 there.
You did.
Anyway, hello, welcome. See, if this is already, if you're not doing the video version, you're missing so much stuff. And I want to say that extra today because we have a guest on that's really going to benefit you from watching and following along with the content. And I'm super excited for this guest because it is Meryl Hayton, who is like the best EFT practitioner I've ever met. She knows her stuff. She has studied this like so thoroughly. And she's always on the latest edge of EFT. So we're going to have her walk us through some EFT in this episode. And if you can't see it, you can't do it unless you already know your EFT tapping points, in which case I'm sure you'll still benefit. But let's go ahead and bring a Meryl on. Hello, Meryl.
Wow. See, what an introduction. Thank you.
Yes, we're very goofy and honest over here, you will find. So because we're all about authenticity, and that means living in our truth, and
our truth is goof.
Our truth is goof. I love it. So welcome, Meryl. You know, I obviously know you from some professional organizations, and I've had the pleasure of working with you as an EFT practitioner. So can you tell our audience just a little bit about what initially drew you to EFT tapping?
Well, I mean, being on my own lifelong healing journey of wanting to heal my inner critic and sadness and judgment and wanting to believe in myself more and really feel true happiness and fulfillment and love on the inside just led me down the path of, following the breadcrumbs. And I was inspired to follow who ended up being my first coach. I took like a 4-day class with her in mind body medicine. She did a lot of EFT tapping. And at first I thought it was weird. I didn't really like it. I didn't get it. And I was like, I don't know, but I really love her. I'm going to follow everything she does. I don't care. Like, I just wanted to like it that bad because I knew she loved it and I trusted her and I knew she saw benefits in it. And I was like, I'm going to like it. Right. And I wanted to work with her in a program that was going to be like a year from when I met her the first time. So I in that year, I closed my old business. I, started teaching workshops on feeling enough and I am enough using yoga because I was a yoga teacher and meditation facilitator. And then I started to incorporate these themes into my classes. And then I watched all of her videos that she had and all of her continuing education to just keep me, in check so that I was ready to start to work with her. And everything she was doing was tapping. I was like, well, I guess just going to keep on, keeping on. Right. And then one night, I remember, I can picture myself. I was sitting in bed and I was ruminating about something that was driving me nuts. And I said, I'm just not going to sleep. I just know I'm not going to sleep. Oh, let me do that tapping thing. Right. And I, did a few rounds of the tapping thing. And then, wait, what was I tapping on? Oh my God. Right. And then I just had this profound shift and went, oh, this is what she's been talking about. Oh, now I get it. I'm in. That was it. And I just immersed myself from that moment on into as much possible education as I can get. And then getting certified, accredited, and and then creating a whole business using it. So.
Wow. I mean, what a glowing review of like feeling the thing, being able to just feel it in your body.
Yeah. And I mean, go ahead.
And I think I just said this the other day when I was speaking at a convention about this. And I said, I like to be a part of my healing journey, physically a part of my healing journey. And I love to learn the best through experiencing and feeling. So I think that's a big reason why I love this so much, and it's just my jam.
Yeah, I mean I've noticed as like a therapist, when I do an intervention with the client versus like telling the intervention to the client for them to try on their own and then come back and let me know, usually there's more buy-in and more like, oh, okay, like I can kind of see where this is coming from when there's the opportunity to experience
Mhm.
it in front of the other person.
Yeah.
Um, and then if they do it on their own, then they can have even more profound experiences then.
Mhm.
So that's awesome to hear. Like I love hearing when you are because you're where I think a lot of people are in terms of interventions and self-care practices, because there are a lot of people that want the self-care practice to work and it's not exactly landing initially, but you still had at least the information and the tool in the toolbox to pull out during a time of stress,
Mhm.
and where it was like, okay, maybe this will work this time, and it did, and you're like, oh, well, okay, I'm glad that I have this here. So that like yeah, just beautiful story because I feel like it's gonna a lot of people will relate to that.
For sure. Yeah, I talk a lot about um, these self care practices don't really make a big difference if you haven't practiced them ahead of time, because
Mhm.
it's kind of like if you've never driven a school bus in your life and all of a sudden you're told there's an emergency, go drive the school bus, and you've never even like turned the thing on and you don't know what all the buttons mean, you're just going to panic. But if you've practiced driving the bus 1,000 times and then there's an emergency, you can get on and drive the bus no problem. Like,
Yeah.
you had practiced it, but you needed that like real, probably felt in the moment sense of how it really could bring that cortisol down.
Oh, yeah, no, and when I do this work and I feel shifts, even if like I do lots of continuing education for this, where I'm watching videos and then I meet with a group weekly to discuss and all this stuff. And I can listen to the video, go through the exercises that someone else is taking someone else through, try to kind of make it my own, so to speak, and I'll feel literally an energetic shift. I do feel that in my system, and I felt that night. And I had never felt that before, ever in my life.
Yeah,
So, and
that's
Wow,
and
so
since
cool.
then, I feel it all the time now, and because I've cleared so much out of my system, I do feel a lot more connected and, you know, feel like I get the downloads and I can listen and trust my intuition more and all that.
mm,
So,
I mean, do you feel like before you had felt this energy shift, because you said that you had never felt this energy shift before, do you
mm-mm.
feel like throughout your life you were doing a lot of like people call themselves like what self-improvement junkies or something,
I
like you
like
were constantly doing the self-improvement stuff to
yeah.
try and you were seeking that energy shift, and it was almost like this moment where you like surrendered to the EFT in that moment. It just the energy shift came. Like, it was just kind of like a meant to be, like, that's what it's sounding like in terms of,
Yeah.
like, you were spending so much time seeking it that
Mhm.
you didn't realize that it could just, happen for you.
Yeah, no, I now use the term self-development junkie because of Safriana. Thank you very much. And, I absolutely was. I mean, I was constantly trying to fix and control, and I was in my head all the time. And, but I do yoga and I meditate and I journal and I do all the things. I go on retreats and right? And it still wasn't I wasn't finding the thing that was for me.
Mm.
And that's a great note right there too, like finding the thing that's right for you, right?
Mhm.
EFT works for so many of my clients. And then there's the ones that are like, "No,
Yeah,
I'm so disconnected from this. I could never do it."
yeah.
And there's the element of practicing it, of course, but everyone needs that ability and permission to explore different modalities. And, that's, I know, probably a big part of our mission is bringing people as many tools as possible and as many people as possible to explore these different supports with. Because, I mean, EFT's definitely been tremendous for me. I discovered it in graduate school because I did a self-designed course on alternative modalities
Mhm.
for therapeutic work and found EFT that way. And so I started studying it then. And I remember just the massive initial shifts in that felt in the body because you're tapping, you're literally feeling your body as you are processing these emotional statements. And
Yep.
there's just that mind body connection that deepens the work in such a profound way.
Mhm. It does.
What is your favorite, like, because I know there's different EFT modalities and like different tapping points, and now there's the optimal EFT, which I didn't know about until you.
Mhm.
What's your favorite form of EFT?
Um, my favorite form. I mean, one of the tools or techniques that I love of EFT is called the 9 gamut. That's one that I do love.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
Not
If
under that name, at
someone
least.
yeah, if someone has, um, say someone's going through a breakup, there's a lot of emotions that are connected to something like that, right? So, and you wanna quell everything down and get as much focus as you possibly can so that you can tap and have words on something, right? So, you can shift things in a big way with the 9 gamut technique, which is a little similar to EMDR because you're tapping on the gamut point, which is here on the hand, and then you are doing some rapid eye movement and sound with it. So
Hmm.
you're moving your eyes, you're looking at like a big clock going both ways, you're humming a verse to I do row, row, row your boat, you could do happy birthday, and then you're counting and then you're humming and that right. So there's a few, we do all the steps together. There's no words or anything. And after that, there's always like a big shift that happens, which is, I guess I love seeing that kind of stuff. Um, and then, I mean, there's just so many things that are available to me to help my clients. But honestly, I'm big into the optimal EFT now. So using that for inner child healing and ancestral healing is it's just so profound. I do love self compassion tapping. That's also like inner child work. So I love that too. Um, yeah, I can't say one thing
Yeah. I mean, it's
already.
also good.
Yeah,
I'm so curious for you to say more about how EFT can be used to do this ancestral healing work because I know so many people right now are coming to terms with like generational trauma
yeah,
and like their parents' wounds and even like these massive lineage wounds that we have. So, what have you uncovered in that?
yeah. Um, well, I mean, I did a training. Obviously, started with my own work, and now using it with my clients. So typically, you have to start and meet where your client is at, right? So um, say someone has money issues and they have a scarcity mindset, and you've worked on their fear and their doubt and their lack and their anxiety around money, and as you weave through using the tapping, and it guides you to the next places that you need to go in your sessions, and you come to, yeah, when I grew up, my mom wouldn't let me buy that leather jacket, or we always had to scrimp and save, or we were taught you had to work really hard in order to make money, and you realize these things were instilled in you, and then there's this learned behavior that you carry, throughout. So when we get back to that place and we clear out as much as we can clear out from the times when my mom said this, or the time when my father did that, or and all connected to this lack and scarcity around money, then we would go into, well, let's heal your mom's lack and scarcity. Well, where was your mom from? Oh, well, she moved from, Russia, here when she was a little child. And right then and there is trauma, right? It's not usually a happy thing that a child is moving from another country to the United States. So we go into healing that trauma, their scarcity. Maybe they went through the depression, and then we can go into their parents and what their stress was, and all of that, and we can heal. Even I would start with what was happening with the child and the parents when they were young. Then it can be when they were born, and it's just, a client could say, well, I don't know, but you can sense it. You kind of can know, right? But even with my work, we can make it up, believe it or not. With the trainings that I watch, the founder, Gary Craig, of both of these modalities, optimal EFT included, I've seen him many times. Just, we don't know. Let's just make it up. And you know what? It always ends up, something always ends up coming in, like an awareness or a aha moment or a memory or something always ends up coming in. So that can even be used, when the client is like, I don't really know what my parents' stresses were when they were growing up, or I didn't know my grandparents or whatever. I mean, I didn't know any of my grandparents. So, but I can still do this practice and just kind of sense into what I think it might be, and feel into my intuition, and just use that as my guideline. And then you can have conversations, just like when I do self-compassion tapping, it's, I see you, right? I see you. I see you're hurt. I see you're sad, or I see you're scared, or whatever it is. I can do the same kind of conversation with a past relative, and help help them heal their stress. And then in turn, it heals the DNA. So it heals it in me or my client. And then if they have children going forward, and yeah.
Wow.
It sounds very, very powerful.
It is powerful.
This extra layer. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I mean, the intuition piece, like, I feel like the whole making it up piece ties back to how you were saying, like, before, with the self-development junkie, like, there was a lot of need for control. There's a lot of need for you to know. Like, when you're doing this work with clients, it sounds like what the ancestral work, and they're like, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what happened. It's almost like that control piece still. Like, in order for me to fully heal, I have to fully know and have the words to heal it. But then this modality seems to provide this level of permission to just trust your intuition,
Yeah.
even if you might not necessarily have the words in the moment, but you can trust yourself, which is something that I feel society has wounded and scarred most people from, is the trusting yourself piece, because a lot of times many people have been gaslit over how they're feeling, how they're seeing a situation, how they see if something is safe or not, like, so the fact that this modality is allowing people to enter back into trusting themselves is beautiful.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. I don't feel that people take enough time to be able to learn to trust themselves. right? Because they're just, I've got to get to the next place. I just got to stuff this feeling down and I got to get to the next place. I got to fix it. I have to, right? Got to get rid of it. I got to move on. I got to,
Mm.
being with it, as you know, is what transmutes it.
Hmm.
Wow. Being with it is what transmutes it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, EFT is that permission to sit with it
it
because
is.
you're literally sitting with it. You're like, this doesn't feel good. I'm feeling all these ways.
Yeah.
This is how my body's feeling. This is how my mind is feeling. And like you're literally with it.
Yep.
And then there's that beautiful transition out of it as you layer
Yeah.
in like the next pieces.
Yeah. No. And I remember someone said to me not too long ago, um, don't just tap it out and get rid of it, really be with it. And I said, oh, that's what tapping does for me. It really helps me to be with it
Yeah.
because I'm getting under all the layers of everything. And then I'm loving and accepting myself through the process. I mean, not every client feels that way. So I don't use those words with everyone, but I feel that way no matter what I'm going through. Um,
Yeah.
so,
That's sorry.
Oh, I'm just giggling about like don't just tap it out. Like to me, that is because
exactly.
yes, when we do spiritual bypassing or toxic positivity, I
Right.
could see a lot of people fearing EFT being that, but it absolutely isn't because you are with it. You're
Hmm.
so with it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems to be the theme that's been popping up a lot is like we're I've heard from several different philosophers now of like the yearning for happiness means you aren't happy. Like if you're in the space um of trying to find happiness, you're not able to sit in the happiness because you're just looking somewhere else
Yeah.
versus looking where you are currently and able to see the happiness that could exist. Same thing with like, yes, we're imperfect, but we can see there's a lot of like, I'll be I'll be whole and perfect once this happens.
Mhm.
Mhm.
If I can get to that. It's a very hypothetical, like quantitative research. If this happens, then this happens. But we aren't built like that. And it's like if we stop to just sit in it, like, because EFT can happen like helping through like distress, but I'm sure with the self-compassion piece too, it sounds like and other aspects of EFT as well, is you can tap in to being just in the moment. And so you can just relish in the now, because I feel like a lot of us just don't know how to exist in the now, or
Mhm.
or permit ourselves to be in the now.
Yeah, I mean, we're chronically dissociated
Yes.
and we have a lot of mass agreed upon dissociation, such as just the screen scrolling and the permission to check out and the permission to look outside of ourselves
Yeah.
constantly. So
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe we could do some tapping on the self-trust piece because as we were talking about that, I was like, what in the world could we do some tapping about today? And then the self-trust
Oh,
conversation came in and I'm like, everybody can benefit from more self-trust.
Mhm.
oh yeah. There's always, like an intuitive drop in that happens in these sessions. I didn't think one iota about what I was going to say or how this is, not at all. Not at all.
You just go with the
I just
flow.
showed up. I just showed up. And yeah. So yeah, beautiful. I love it. We can
So
absolutely tap on that.
yeah, so take it away. You are our guide and this audience's guide through some self-trust.
I just want to do a quick little explanation of what EFT is, right? It means emotional freedom technique. So it's freeing you from unwanted emotions, old thoughts, old events, trauma, old patterns that you don't want anymore. And we are tapping on the 12 main Chinese energy meridian points. We're tapping on the ends of the points. So We're hitting all of the main ones. It's very similar to acupuncture, but we're using our fingertips instead. And it is disrupting and dismantling your energy and emotional attachment to whatever is your presenting issue, right? Whatever you don't want. So today we're going to talk about how to improve your self-trust. So if you think for a moment, I trust myself at what number on a scale of 0 to 10? 0, right? You don't trust yourself at all. 10, you know, have incredible self-trust, right? Or you can say it as I don't trust myself, right? I do trust myself or I don't trust myself. And I usually, when I'm asking my clients questions, I'll do like a little list of questions, and I'll throw in like an opposite of what I'm asking, you know, because then they're like, oh, wait a minute. So the truth really comes out of what number, you know, where they're at. So, um, so either way, and come up with whatever number you're at, just so that you have a baseline, and we'll just start there. So you're going to tap on the side, the outside of your hand. I'm right on the outside of my hand. It doesn't matter which side you tap on. Some people do both sides of the hands together. I started doing it that way, but I don't do that anymore. Right. And I'm tapping gently, but I typically do fast tapping. And tapping can absolutely create you to have tingling sensations, um, maybe a little lightheadedness. You know, it's just energy moving. It's all normal. It might bring you to cry. It might not be today, but it could bring you to yawn. But all of those things are normal and releasing for your body. So just know that. And so here we go. Will one of you repeat after me?
Sure.
Okay. So even though I don't trust myself,
Even though I don't trust myself,
and it's at a number, you can fill that in,
8.
and it's at a number 8. I'm choosing to honor how I feel.
I'm choosing to honor how I feel.
And even though I don't trust myself today or right now,
Even though I don't trust myself today,
I'm choosing to acknowledge I feel this way.
I'm choosing to acknowledge I feel this way.
And even though I don't trust myself right now,
And even though I don't trust myself right now,
I'm choosing to be open to the possibility
I'm choosing to be open to the possibility
of trusting myself.
of trusting myself.
We're going to go to the top of the head. So I have like a full palm on the top of my head. I don't trust myself.
I don't trust myself.
And then I'm going inside the eyebrows, right where they start. I don't trust myself.
I don't trust myself.
And then outside the eyes, I don't trust myself.
I don't trust myself.
Under the eyes, nope, I don't trust myself.
Nope, I don't trust myself.
And under the nose, no trust.
No trust.
And on the chin, no trust.
No trust.
Under the collarbone, I don't trust myself.
I don't trust myself.
And then under the arm, so it can be here, right? Both sides, or this way if it's hard to reach around, right? I don't trust myself.
I don't trust myself.
Okay. Pause. Take a cleansing breath, which means in your nose and out your mouth. Taking the deep breaths helps to shift things faster. So now you would test again. I don't trust myself at what number, and see where you're at. And then I would ask, how does it make you feel that you don't trust yourself? Right? What is it like for you when you don't trust yourself?
Well, it felt like it already shifted to like a 7 or a 6.5.
Okay.
And I felt angry. Like, I felt angry at the people who told me that I couldn't trust myself.
Okay, so you're already getting more focused,
Hmm.
right? Because I didn't ask in what area did you not trust yourself. I made it very general, right? And already in one round, you're down 1.5 points and you're more focused on which situation seems to be standing out for you,
Hmm.
right? So now I would say, well, is there like a specific event that's standing out that happened? Would you say, or it's just still kind of a general mix of more than one thing?
Um, it's not a specific event, but it would be specific feelings coming up from a person in my past.
Okay. All right. So let's tap and get a little clarity. We're just going to tap and talk a little bit, right? So right now I'm feeling like I don't trust myself,
Right now, I feel like I don't trust myself.
and it's bringing me back to this situation with this person from my past,
And it's bringing me back to the situation from the person from my past.
right? And that was then, and this is now.
That was then, and this is now.
It's an old event.
It's an old event.
It's not happening anymore.
It's not happening anymore.
That was then, and this is now.
That was then, and this is now.
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
Somehow I survived it,
Somehow I survived it.
and I made it through.
I made it through.
And right here and right now, I'm safe.
Right here and right now, I'm safe.
Good. And it's not happening.
It's not happening.
So now I would ask, when you think of that situation,
Hmm.
what comes up about it? Before you mentioned anger. So what's your anger at about this? Or is it not angry?
The anger is like current me.
Yeah. How you feel about it now when you're thinking about it,
Yeah.
not when you thought about it back then. So not associated with it back then, just now, how you think,
Yeah.
how you feel about it.
Yeah. I'm angry because I'm angry that I was not taken seriously.
Ah. And angry at what number today?
Probably an 8.
Okay, so that was the original 8,
Hmm.
right? So now we'll go into the anger because the I don't trust myself is lower, so you want to stay with the higher intensity, right? So even though I'm feeling angry right now,
Even though I'm feeling angry right now,
I'm choosing to honor how I feel.
I'm choosing to honor how I feel.
And even though I'm feeling angry
Even though I'm feeling angry
about this past event,
about this past event,
that's not happening anymore.
it's not happening anymore.
That was then and this is now.
That was then, and this is now.
And I can choose to let these feelings go.
I can choose to let these feelings go.
And even though I still feel angry
Even though I still feel angry
from this past event,
from this past event,
that's not happening anymore.
that's not happening anymore.
And I can choose to let these feelings go.
And I can choose to let these feelings go.
But I still feel angry.
And I still feel angry.
And I want to honor that.
And I want to honor that.
And I choose to love and accept myself as I am.
I choose to love and accept myself as I am.
That feels true.
The love and accept myself?
All of it.
Yes.
Okay. Top of the head. Angry.
Angry.
Inside the eyebrows. I just feel angry.
I just feel angry.
Outside the eyes. Angry.
Angry.
And under the eyes. Feeling angry.
Feeling angry.
And under the nose. Angry.
Angry.
Chin. Just feeling angry.
Just feeling angry.
Yep. And under the collarbone. Angry.
Angry.
And under the arm. Angry.
Angry.
All right. Relax. And deep cleansing breath in through the nose. And out. And then you'll check in. I trust myself. What number?
I trust myself is at like a 7.
Pretty high.
Yeah. That means that I don't trust myself is a 3 now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Just clarifying, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm angry about this past event or situation. I know it wasn't a specific event, but I'm angry about this thing from my past. Is what number now?
That also feels around a 3.
Awesome.
Yeah.
In one round.
Yeah, and EFT is so interesting like that. Like results may vary. Sometimes it spikes a little bit and then comes down, and then sometimes it's down several points, and then sometimes it's one round and it just drops.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting.
I really love like the live energy that you provide, Meryl, because that like I have like the tapping solution app, which is a nice like pre-recorded thing that you can do, but it's like not it like you can help
I'm
guide.
personalizing it for you.
Yeah, you
That's what
personalize.
brings the fast results. When you're doing something that's pre-recorded, it's only going to be kind of like a temporary band-aid.
Yeah, I can tell you that for sure. Yeah. Yep. But yeah, thank you. That's incredible.
Yeah. So now you'll probably start to pop with, oh, there was this time when, oh, and right. You'll start to pop with some little events now that that are connected to this. I would write those down. You keep a list. Those are the things that you want to work on and shift. And then your self-trust will just keep going up and up and up the number, right? And that's what happens is we just follow the path.
Yeah. I it's so interesting when we were doing that exercise, I just felt current me like starting to like stand with the younger me and being like, yo, we got this to this person, to the person that was like making us doubt ourselves. So that was like super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that visual. And you can tap something like that in. Like it's nice. Here, let's just do a quick round because obviously we're not staying on here, to forever and ever, right? So
do one of Meryl's 90-minute sessions. You just do EFT and you get in there, like
Damn.
But she goes deep.
I'm here for it.
But yes, positive round.
So let's just do like a wrap-up round because this is like soothing to your body. It's confirming for your body what's shifted, and it kind of like seals up any vulnerability that might be out there right now, right? All right, so we've worked on some self-trust issues, and you're going to
we've worked on some self-trust issues,
and I do have some more self-trust. Yeah, top of the head. And we found that I had some anger from my past. Yep, inside the eyebrows. And we shifted that, all of it down to a 3.
We shifted all of that down to a 3.
Outside the eyes in only just a few rounds.
Under the eyes.
So I see what's possible.
so I see what's possible.
Under the nose. And there might be some um, feelings left or emotions left, right? You can fill in the blank.
There may be some feelings left.
Okay. On the chin. And I want to kind of, put it in a nice little box for now.
And I want to put it in a nice little box for now.
Under the collarbone. What does the box look like?
The box looks like
Under the arm.
like a dainty uh like a dainty golden box of small box that has little jewels and a tiny little like clasp to lock it.
Love it. Okay, top of the head. And where is the box? Is it at my house? Is it under your bed? Like at a friend's house? Where is it? Inside the eyebrows.
Um
Where does it feel
it,
safe to put the box?
it feels safe on my altar.
Okay, awesome. Outside the eyes. So you can keep the box closed until you, right? So I can keep the box closed until I feel I want to open it.
I can keep the box closed until I feel I want to open it.
Good. Under the eyes. So all of my emotions and feelings can stay in there safely.
So all my feelings and emotions can stay in there safely.
Yep. And under the nose, because we're at the end of our session here.
Because we're at the end of our session here.
On the chin. And I just want everything to be wrapped up nicely in a box.
And I just want everything to be wrapped up nicely in a box.
For now.
For now.
Under the collarbone. And that feels good. That feels complete. Like, what does that feel like to you?
That feels peaceful.
Peaceful. All right. And then just tap under the arm. And take a deep breath. So that kind of wraps it up nicely.
That's
Sometimes
so funny because I just had clients do the container
method
today.
Yep.
Oh.
Man, container plus tapping. And then you bilateral tap and you get the EMDR bilateral stimulation there. And that is just like potent stuff.
The trifecta.
Yes.
Buy two, get one free, right?
So Meryl, tell our people how they can work with you and why they would work with you.
Well, I love to help women to fully, authentically express themselves. So not hold back at all in their relationships, personally, professionally, in their life, really make bold moves so that they feel fulfilled and happy. And we do that by finding the root cause of where they learned and how they learned to hold back. I work typically in longer term programs between 6 weeks and 6 months because it takes a while to do that rewiring and the reframing and the healing work to have the full transformation that my clients want. Currently, I have like a limited time single session offer going right now. That's the Ancestral DNA healing session for 90 minutes at 3:33. And I have an upcoming class that's on March 21st at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is Liberate Your Voice. So learning how to communicate in your relationship so that you get your needs met all the time. I'm going to put together a group program that might come out in April, so stay tuned for that. And, free Facebook group, empowering community for women. And I have content everywhere from TikTok to YouTube, LinkedIn, blog, website, everywhere.
Which we will have the links underneath our video and audio. Again, if you've somehow made it to the end of this and you're still on audio, bless. But thank you so much, Meryl, for this. You are well worth working with, as Kenna just got to experience the shift live here. And thank you for the work that you do in helping people to heal from these long-standing wounds. It's important work.
I I love both of your energies. It was great to be here, and thank you for participating with me and really sharing your own journey, because that makes profound shifts for people, and really helps them to feel supported. Not that I'm just telling them how to do something, but really seeing it, in the change and shift that happened with you is powerful.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
thank you for showing up for yourself.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, thank you for being a part of Living Luna and our mission to uplift the others of the world. And if you want to work with Meryl, find her information in the episode notes.
Yeah. And she helped me feel heckin' uplifted today.
Heckin' uplifted. That's a great review right there, Meryl. Client testimonial. Heckin' uplifted. All right. Bye for now.
Bye.